This week on Hashtag Taiwan, I want to take a break from talking about COVID-19 because you guys have been doing a great job of covering it.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to talk about this guy right here, U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders.
Can I say it's so strange to see him smiling?
That's actually like his Senate portrait. So this is like the official photo of Bernie Sanders.
Smile for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bernie Sanders is one of the front runners for the Democratic Party nomination to go head-to-head against U.S. President Donald Trump in the November elections. He also gave an interview recently that's been getting a lot of attention online. I got the clip for you right here, so check it out.
Just on foreign policy, you said you believe in diplomacy. You're concerned Donald Trump is going to get us into an unnecessary war. Are there situations where you believe military action is
absolutely? Of course I do.
If China took military action against Taiwan, is that something you would?
It's something that, yeah. I mean, I think we have got to make it clear to countries around the world that we will not sit by and allow invasions to take place. Absolutely.
Now, that was the American news show 60 Minutes, in which the interviewer, Anderson Cooper, asked Bernie Sanders whether or not he would take military action if he were president. And you guys heard of that whole Taiwan thing, right? So that's what people were going crazy about. And people were going wild for Sanders' answer online. And in fact, some local media outlets flat out said that the U.S. would defend Taiwan if Bernie is president. But let's pump the brakes really quickly. Did Bernie Sanders really say that? Let's look at the clip one more time.
If China took military action against Taiwan, is that something you would?
It's something that, yeah. I mean, I think we have got to make it clear to countries around the world that we will not sit by and allow invasions to take place. Absolutely.
Now, before we move on, I want to compliment Anderson Cooper for phrasing the question the way he did. He was very straightforward. It was down the barrel, down the middle, strike zone, fastball. And usually when people talk about Taiwan, especially in the media, they're very vague or they frame it in a very questionable manner. Would you guys agree with that?
I thought he did a good job asking the question. We don't usually see it framed quite the way he did. So
yeah.
And that he really thought of Taiwan.
That's
I mean,
right.
That's a big issue for us here.
That. But let's focus in on Bernie for a second. What did he say? He said, yeah, absolutely. Now, that could be construed in many ways. Let me demonstrate. Absolutely, yeah, that's very important to me. Or, oh yeah, absolutely, that's something. Do you see the difference in tone in the message? And not only that, but did you guys hear that little clink?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know, but to me, he
here.
knocked on something, and it looked like he was looking for an eject button. Like that's just me, but I was not very inspired by that little clink over there. I mean, it might be something minor, but I get paranoid about these things. But what's more is, there was a tweet by Corrales Cachola which says, meanwhile, Sanders is shuffling his feet, not making eye contact with Anderson Cooper on how he would deal with the bad guys, which essentially boils down to Sanders having the opposite of Warren on strategic planning. And you can't help but notice that, he was almost kind of gave us off of nervous energy. His actions certainly didn't have the convictions that his words did, right? So I always give you guys a Leslie Liao pick of the week, but this week I'm going to give you guys a Leslie Liao score of the week. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very confident that Bernie Sanders would defend Taiwan in the case of an invasion from China, and 1 being not confident at all, I'm going to give you a score about how I feel about this entire thing. All right, and my score is 1 skeptical Leonardo DiCaprio. There we go.
All right.
I think the media was just too excited, and they just read what they wanted to read into it, right?
The Taiwan media was
the Taiwan
too
media.
excited. Yeah.
I think it was just, what was more important was how Anderson Cooper really just gave that down the middle question.
Yeah, and I think it's also like when it comes to Bernie Sanders' answer, you have to remember this is election season, right? So he's going to give a strong answer, but not necessarily an equivocal.
Not commit one way or the other.
Exactly.
Pure politics.
All right. Well, thank you, Leslie, for that. And that is our Hashtag Taiwan for the week. Do follow us on social media and leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.